All right. I want to do a quick video on this fight. This fight between Caleb Plant and Mike Lee is going to be on the undercard of Manny Pacquiao against Keith Thurman. All right, so it's going to be on the pay-per-view. Now, this is not a breakdown. I never heard of Mike Lee before. Okay, so when I heard about this fight, I looked up Mike Lee on BoxRec, and I looked down his work record. I saw that he debuted back in like 2010. I don't believe he's ever fought below 174. Okay, at least not as a professional. So he's fought as low as 174, and he's fought above 180. Okay, but in most cases he's fighting maybe around the upper 170s. Okay, so few questions I have. Why is this fight happening? Mike Lee is not in the rankings. And none of the opponents he's fought is in the rankings. Okay? So I'm thinking, okay, maybe Caleb Plant was offered a spot to fight on the pay-per-view. And who's gonna turn down the fight? At this point, depending on who's available to fight, you know how these pay-per-view works. You want to, especially a big one like this, Manny Pacquiao, Keith Thurman. You just want to jump on the card and fight who's available. So that's what I'm assuming. All right, but Mike Lee is not even a super middleweight. I mean, he's barely a light heavy. I mean, this is a guy that doesn't even fight at light heavy technically. He's fighting in between light heavy and cruiser. So I'm watching the press conference, and Mike Lee comes out. And he's talking. Seems like a very respectful guy, friendly guy. He gives his speech, and then Caleb Plant, a guy that I'm watching and I'm listening to him. He seems to be really driven and motivated by his pain. Okay, and when it comes to guys like that, I'm thinking to myself, listening to him, like, all right, there's gonna be people out there that is gonna love him, and they're gonna hate him. All right, there's not gonna be no borderline with him because he's a very emotional guy, and some people are gonna take it and like it because they're gonna feel that he's authentic. But then there's other people that's gonna be like, man, this guy, why is he so whiny so much? Why is he, you know, um, especially to a guy like Mike Lee who doesn't come off like a bad guy. He seems to be a very respectful gentleman guy. But Caleb Plant wasn't really feeling this dude. I don't know if it was him personally. I don't know if maybe it's just because his opponent. It could be because of what he's gone through this year and previous years. I mean, this guy has had a rough upbringing. He's lost his child. He's lost his mother. He's been through a whole bunch of stuff. And like I said earlier, he seems like his motivation seems to be his pain and what he's gone through. I mean, he's bringing it up in the press conference. This is a fight, like, at first glance, when you see the names, like, Plant's fighting Mike Lee or whatever. So a lot of these fighters will build a fight up just because no one really cares about the fight. But for some reason, I don't think there was nothing fake about what was just going on in that press conference. Like, Caleb Plant, I don't know. He's just different. He's just a different type of dude. And I don't think Mike Lee expected that at all. It caught him way off guard because he was just Plant was basically questioning his character. He was making it really, really personal. He was bringing up stuff, like he was bringing up personal things. He's studied this guy. Caleb Plant knows exactly what he's getting into, and he doesn't respect Mike Lee at all. So I'm interested in this fight now because it's like, even though I don't know who Mike Lee is, I'm very interested to see how this fight plays out. I know what Caleb Plant brings to the table. Very skillful fighter, slick fighter. He's talking about knockouts. I don't know about all that because he's not a knockout type of guy. But he seemed really motivated to do well against this dude. Um, there's not much footage out there on YouTube of Mike Lee. I did check a few days back whenever they originally had a press conference. Or no, whenever they announced the fight and said that they were gonna add the fight to this card. Uh, when I saw Ugas against Ugas is gonna be fighting damn. Oh, Figueroa. He's gonna be fighting. I thought that was all right. That's a good fight. Cool. I see Olympian S is gonna fight John Molina. I don't really care about that one that much, but John Molina always brings a good fight. But when I saw this fight at first, I was like, Mike Lee. Looked him up. I'm like, who's this guy? So I didn't care. But after I saw this press conference, it got me. It got me tuned in now. Like now I'm paying attention to it. But yo, real quick thoughts. That weight thing is gonna be an issue to me because I feel like even if Mike Lee makes weight, and a little bit that I did see of him on YouTube, he's massive compared to Caleb Plant. Like as soon as I turned on the video, I said, okay, he looks like a big light heavy, which is what he is technically. Okay. Even in the face off, you could see the mass is different between the two. They're both wearing suits. You could tell that Mike Lee is naturally a much bigger man, So even if he does make 168, is he going to be drained for this fight? I mean, from what I've seen on YouTube, doesn't seem bad at all. It's just that I haven't seen him face anyone good. But if he can make weight and be comfortable at 168, it might be a pretty good fight. But I'm not betting on him because I think that weight thing is going to be an issue. I mean, you've been fighting as a pro for about 10 years and you've never even fought below 174. So you're going to wait this far deep in your career to finally come down to 168? I don't know. I personally don't think he's going to make weight. I think Mike Lee is going to fight Caleb Plant. I think he's going to be a few pounds over. And he's just going to fight him just to see if he can get the win. If he doesn't collect the belt, who cares? I mean, I can't see this guy just consistently fighting at 168. I mean, he looks like a big dude. He probably, if he's fighting above 175, he probably has trouble making 175. So I think the weight thing is a huge factor in this fight because this guy's never fought anywhere near 168. So let me know what you guys think on this, Like I said, we already know what Caleb Plant is going to bring, He seems focused, just as focused as he usually is, I thought it was a little awkward that he was trying to get inside of Lee's head, but maybe he's using it as his advantage, make him rattle him up a little bit, get him out of his zone. But yeah, like I said, Caleb Plant is the kind of guy, as you love him, I like him. I've been like them, so I even started liking him more once I realized how much he's not no bozo. He doesn't run, I don't know. He doesn't, just the way he moves when he's in interviews, when he's in the gym, he seems like he's just there. He's to himself. He's just there to fight, and that's it. He's not there to play games. He's not trying to be everybody's friend. Like, I respect him because he's not doing too much. I don't like when guys is doing way too much. So I actually like him because of that. He seems authentic. Mike Lee seems like a nice guy. I mean, I don't have nothing to hate or like or hate about him. It's just weird. It just made a fight like that no one cared about interesting, And they're still posting their parts and bits and pieces of the press conference, day by day. So there is some interest there, you know. But yo, let me know what you guys think on this fight. You know, if anybody has more background information on Mike Lee, if you know a little bit more about him than I do, fill me in the comments because I actually don't know. This is not a breakdown video. You know, I'll check some more of his stuff out. Of course, you know, like when the fight gets closer, I'll probably do a breakdown if I can find enough information on him. But right now, I got Caleb Plant. You know, You know, he's just more experienced. It's just that Mike Lee, big guy, and he does know how to box. So this is all about whether or not he can make the weight and look comfortable being himself and not drained. All right. So anyway, let me know what you guys think, man, and see you guys on the next video. Peace.